Welcome to the One-on-One podcast, episode number 62. It's my pleasure to welcome you today, along with my co-host Josh Katz and Ryan Esteban. Josh, so how are we doing today?
I'm good, Kathy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We have a newlywed on board.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Well, no, by the time this episode comes out, I will be in the midst of last second planning.
It depends how we do our release schedule. This actually could go out when Ryan has a ring on his finger.
So we'll do two different versions of this where before the and post.
But yes, Kathy, I'm going to speak as Ryan's spokesman. Ryan is getting married very soon.
Yes.
And I know he's excited.
What a lucky young woman. That's all.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I will actually say she does. Anytime we talk about like the wedding in the past episodes, I would always tell her like, oh, you need to watch like the first 5 minutes of the episodes. And she just laughs along with you guys because she's like, wow, can't believe like that conversation has made our podcast.
I think it's also so fun because Ryan's obviously been with this company for longer than almost everybody, and he's kind of like lived in the shadows for a long time. And now we have this platform where we can virtually say whatever we want. And
which is not the intent of this platform.
So yes, Ryan's personal life is all over this podcast now.
I love it. I love it. And just think 2 years ago, right? We were just starting out with the podcast. A year ago, Ryan, were you in a boot?
Oh, yeah.
It was actually, almost a year ago is when I tore my Achilles. Yeah.
In a boot.
Yeah.
And now you're getting a ball and chain.
I walked into that one.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help.
Please turn that into a reel.
Oh, no.
But as excited as I am about all of that, guys, I am so excited because not only is this person dynamic and brilliant and such an asset to our team, but she's also a friend. I'm just so thrilled to welcome Karry Azarabadi to our podcast today. She is our ONE coaching specialist, senior ONE coaching specialist. It doesn't mean that she's old. It just means that she's really, really good at what she does. And what she's going to share with us today is a new program that we've rolled out. We've done the first version of the ONE Mentor certification, and welcome Karry to talk about that with us today. It's just wonderful to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm so excited to talk about this program. And as you said, we just launched the very first session at the beginning of last month, and I think it went incredibly well. And we had several people on, and just to see the dynamics of those agents that are really pushing to be mentors is so exciting to me. It kind of revived me a little bit and just remembered, that passion and getting involved in mentorship is so cool to see.
Oh, go ahead, Kathy. I'm sorry. Nope, go.
So I was just going to say one thing about our culture that is so unique is, Josh and Ryan, we have such a large population of professionals who want to give back. And what Karry has created, and I want her to have full credit for this because this is hers, is an opportunity for people that are ready to give back and to practice servant leadership and to train the next generation. We're giving them a platform and a certification to make sure that they have the confidence and the knowledge and the ability to use our tools and resources and provide the best opportunity for tomorrow's leaders. So, Karry, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Or Josh, I'm sorry, did you have a question about it?
Nope, you hit everything I wanted to say. So, Karry, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the main benefits of this program, and there's many, of course, but it's kind of designed for individuals that, really want to either take their, knowledge that they already have about mentorship, and maybe they've been involved in being a mentor for a while, take that and really just turn it in and formalize it all to become exceptional, right? To take some of those things initially to really take it to the next level. And then, those who are maybe been in the industry for a little while, and that number could vary. I mean, that could be 4 or 5 years of just killing it and hitting it hard. That could be, somebody who's been around for 15 years or, somewhere around there. But just to learn about all of that, and those that can jump in and, again, excel versus those who are like, I think I want to be a mentor and just kind of start out. I think this program is so incredible for both of those because we take it to basics, but it's not elementary. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I've now been in the industry for a couple of years, and I have learned that mentorship is such a huge part for real estate professionals. But the fact that we have now created a certification program to solidify exactly that. So Karry, maybe you want to touch upon like the idea of, I mean, I learned this from you, Kathy, is the idea of paying it forward, right? Is someone helped you out in your career, and so now you just instinctually want to help out someone else. So maybe talk about that from the program's perspective. Like, have you seen mentor-mentee relationships already occurring?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I would say out of that first session, I think we had about 15 people that were on, which were absolutely incredible. And yeah, the majority of them, well, I would say probably 2 or 3 of them, 10 to 15 years are already mentorship, right? They've had 10 plus mentees underneath them. I would say another 3 to 4 of them had 5-ish mentees. We had a few that had, 2 or 3, and then we had a few that had never mentored at all. So it was a really good kind of group to be able to all kind of learn from each other, right?
Mm.
Those that have been doing it forever can impart some of their knowledge and expertise on those who maybe are just starting out. But then there's also something about those that are just starting out that have such a different view on real estate in general. And to your point, Josh, just to have that passion and that excitement, I think could really seep into those that have been doing it for a while and maybe kind of set in their ways. So it was such a good group. And, in the program, we, talk not only about like just theoretical knowledge and how to mentor and everything that you need to know from step A to step Z, but, we bring in the tools and the technology and strategies and insights and all of that can just really encompass the whole thing. We talk about personality styles and how it's really important to connect with your mentee in a level, a deeper level, so that they can be successful and you guys can, kind of really jive with each other. We talk about generations. We talk about, how to just basically involve them, and you're going to shadow them as a mentor, take them with you to listing appointments and listing presentations and open houses and inspections and do all that real life stuff. And I think a lot of the time for mentors, when a mentee of theirs is in transaction, right? Like it's easy. It's easy to follow. Like, okay, we need to do this. We need to schedule that. We need to fill out this form. It's easy to kind of go through that process. I think sometimes the struggle for mentors without the guidance that this program provides is it's like, okay, what do you want to talk about today?
Yeah.
Right. Let's meet. What do we want to talk about? And the mentee has no idea, obviously, to be able to, I'm just trying to learn from you as a mentor, right? So having that blueprint and that roadmap and those skills and tools and all of that, I think is so, so crucial to really help the mentor guide the mentee in a good, positive way.
So how does one get involved?
Well, that's a good question. So I think a lot of the time it's probably going to start at the local level within each individual office, right? And most, if not all, of our offices are coached through how to start a mentor program. A lot of the time with our brand new offices, that might take a little bit of time, right, as growth starts to happen. But usually in the conversations where, they're discussing moving from one brokerage to a Realty ONE Group brokerage, hopefully that's in the conversation. Have you ever thought about mentorship? Is that something you to do? And to Kathy's point, or is it something you're passionate about? Do you want to give back? And the cool thing about, I think, a mentor program, just not only to fill the buckets of those people who do have that passion to give back, but also in this crazy market that we're in, there's such an opportunity to increase your earning potential by being a mentor, because there's usually some sort of compensation. And then, maybe that could also, because a lot of people, I think, as they've been in the industry for a long time, they maybe do want to cut back on their own production. And this provides the opportunity to cut back on their own production, but still have that same income or maybe even more income coming in to be able to kind of start that whole process of giving back and still being able to stay afloat from an income perspective.
Or even just new passion and responsibility, right? Like maybe you're just at a new point in your career where this is what's making me tick. This is what gets me up in the morning, is helping others and showing them what I did in my career. And Kathy, like I wanted to ask you, this is more of a general question, but how important is it? This is a stupid question, but how important is it to have a mentor? And I'm not even from a real estate agent perspective. That's for anyone, anywhere in life, I think. But I know you probably have a good answer for that.
I love that question because especially in an industry like real estate, there are just too many shortcuts you can make successfully and be more efficient and effective and have higher earnings if you are willing to lean into a mentor. And have that person by your side. A couple of things that I think are very important about this program and what Karry did such a marvelous job with is this is not teaching our new agent training rev up. We have a program in place. This is, and you can do that if you want, right, Karry? But this is after they've completed new agent training, that next step. It's that next step of I'm a certified mentor. We're going to work in partnership. And I'll let Karry talk about the 3 phases of the mentor program. But Josh, I think the most important thing for us to realize is the average industry age is about late 50s, which is a great age to start to give back. I think that's why our culture is breeding so much of that giving back. And you put that in perspective with the Z's, the Y's and the Z's, who when surveyed are saying, you know what, I can do all kinds of stuff with YouTube, but what I really want is somebody standing beside me. That generation when surveyed is saying, I want someone face to face. I want someone not holding my hand, but I want someone guiding me. I can do YouTube, but I do that for everything. For this, I want to make the most money in the shortest amount of time through that mentor, through those shortcuts, through somebody navigating the best way. So, Karry, do you want to talk about the phases and how that works?
Yeah, so the program itself is a phased approach, and it is 3 phases. That first phase is kind of the instructional phase. So there are 2 4-hour virtual classes. Of course, we do them through Zoom. And in those 2 4-hour classes, like I said, we have about 5 modules that we go through, ranging from, what does it mean to be a mentor, all the way through practical insights, the relationship, the communication, and then, finalizing that 5th module with professional development and that mentor roadmap, right? What does that look like going forward? And then we tie a bow on it all, providing forms and samples and resources and tools and, lots and lots of materials that we're going to just go ahead and hand over to all of our mentors in the program, just to be able to customize and formalize those and use them as their own going forward. And again, just to help kind of create that roadmap or that blueprint. And so that's that initial phase. Phase 2 is more of an auditing phase. So we want them to kind of go through Rev Up Rapid Launch and audit that program with us, just so that they can see how we deliver it. And many of our offices deliver Rev Up locally, right, in their own offices, and they have, trainers or their broker owners or managers are teaching that. And sometimes a lot of the time, the mentors also kind of become a part of that and maybe teach a class here and there. So if they're teaching it locally in their offices, great, but we want them to come through Rev Up Rapid Launch and see how we deliver it from a corporate perspective, right? Again, we incorporate a ton of our tools and technology, and it's really important to increase your database and use a CRM. And that's when we bring in ONE.Suite and really go through all the ins and outs of ONE.Suite and how beneficial that can be. And so we want the mentor to come in and kind of just see that, right? Not only just see how we deliver the content, but see how we incorporate the tools. And then they can use all of that. Again, there's tons of materials that we provide to them at that point as well. And then they can use that again to kind of go, oh, we're meeting today and you had class number 2 this week, which is all about the database or the business plan or farming or open houses. And now we can kind of connect the dots there from what you learned in that class, because now we know, and then, maybe even, go out and do something a little bit more in person together, to connect the dots a little further, which is awesome. And then the last phase is kind of the assessment or the apprentice phase. And so in this phase, they're going to choose an apprentice mentee within their office. A lot of the time they may already have been working with a mentee. And so they're welcome to, choose somebody that they've been working with a little bit. But we want them to go through at least one transaction with their mentee after they finish the first couple phases of this program, because we want them to learn to use and really master the content and the tools and all of that we've delivered to them through the program. So in a perfect world, they're going to take them through at least one transaction. If they're already kind of working with them, we'd like them to at least work from that moment forward for at least 6 weeks or so with their apprentice or their mentee, again, just to, give them the opportunity to utilize what they've learned in the program. And then we meet together and we finalize everything by providing, of course, a certificate. We have an awesome badge that they can use as a designation, and any promotions or marketing material, their website, email signature. So they'll just be a ONE.U certified mentor, and they'll be able to promote that, which is absolutely huge. I think, there's 3 main reasons that this mentor program is so valuable, and you gain that competitive advantage, right? We all talk about setting yourself apart, and something like this can really help do that, especially if you got that badge of honor that you can use to promote that. Of course, diversifying your skills, just not even as a real estate agent, but then increasing it as a mentor. And then, of course, increasing that earning potential. So encompassing all these different things in this program, I think it's just such a great opportunity to just help out and fulfill and become better and all the things.
I completely agree. Kathy, I think the thing that's so cool about this is we are providing structure to mentorship. And think about it. There's probably so many people that wake up and are like, I want to have a mentor, but where do I even begin to find one? And
Totally.
we've now provided that. I mean, that's in and of itself is so cool. And then also from the mentor side of things, like we have now provided a program for people that are at the stage in their career where they're like, okay, this is what's next. I want to give back to my office, or I want to show what I've learned throughout my career. And I just think that that's so cool. So Karry, I think, this is awesome.
And I love that. And the third part of that, and we don't speak to it a lot, but we're giving our affiliates or our broker owners the opportunity to have that subject matter expert on deck.
Yeah.
Right. That certification is giving them the confidence to say, we've got great content that can be delivered 2 ways. Now I've got an individual that's going to love on these people and get them where they need to be in productivity. And that is really changing the game to the point of, and I might be making this up, I always warn you when I do, but I think we're probably turning the national stats upside down on churn rate of new agents from an 8% churn rate to maybe even a 70% success rate. And it's because of this. So Karry, you are my hero.
Yeah.
Do you see now? Ryan and Joshua, I was so excited to introduce this on the podcast.
No, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's end it with a call to action. Karry, if I am an agent or if I'm wanting to become a mentor, what do I do now? I've just listened to this whole episode.
Yes. So you're going to be seeing, if you haven't already, tons of promotion regarding this mentor certification program. It should be coming out in your ONE digests every week for a while. Mm-hmm. We do have 3 more sessions scheduled this year. I would love nothing more than to have to add additional sessions because we have so much adoption. But we do have a couple of more. You'll see dates a little bit more effectively and specifically in a lot of the promotions. But June, September, and December are 3 more sessions that we're going to be offering. Also, there's going to be a link to register. Just click that link, fill out the form, and we'll make sure to get you everything that you need, to get into the session of your choice that works best. So just keep an eye on all of that stuff. If you have any questions or you don't want to wait, or maybe you feel like you've missed promotions, you can email coaching at realtyonegroup.com, and we can make sure to get you everything that you need.
Love it. That's great. Anything else, Kathy?
You don't have to spell Azarabadi. You just do coaching at Realty ONE Group.
That's
and for all of those listening, if you guys have any general questions, concerns, want to donate to Ryan's honeymoon fund, please go to learning@realtyonegroup.com and shoot us a message or a Venmo or whatever. Yeah. And thank you again, Karry. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One-on-One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by ONE.U and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details, listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.